Penguin Random House Audio presents Tiny Experiments, How to Live Freely in a Goal-Obsessed World. This is the author Anne-Laure Le Cunff. This audiobook includes a downloadable PDF containing the experimentalist toolkit, reflection guide, glossary, and acknowledgements mentioned in the print version of the book. Welcome to the audio version of Tiny Experiments. As you can hear, English is not my first language, so when my publisher asked me to record this audiobook, I had my doubts. Will people find it annoying that I sometimes mispronounce some words? Wouldn't it be a better experience for listeners if this was recorded by a professional? But then I realized this was the perfect opportunity to apply the principles I talk about in this book. Tiny Experiments is all about transforming self-doubt into self-discovery. It's about experimenting, trying new things, learning new skills, putting yourself out there, making mistakes, and growing in the process. So please join me for these few hours together, where we will explore the power of an experimental mindset. To the wise teachers who always lead me back to curiosity. Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it, and make it the life you want to live. Mae Jemison, American engineer, physician, and former NASA astronaut. Introduction. Goodbye, linear life. Are you sure? My manager asked me with genuine concern. I was 27, living in San Francisco, and I had just turned in my resignation from Google. I was voluntarily leaving what had been my dream job. Amazing pay, international travel, challenging work that matched my skills, interesting colleagues, and seemingly no limit to the heights I could achieve if I continued climbing the corporate ladder. When I got this job fresh out of university, my parents were happier than I'd ever seen them. And so was I. It was a chance to be part of the heartland of the tech world. So my manager's question made sense. No, I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing. But I didn't say that. Instead, I nodded confidently, gave her a hug, and thanked her for these formative years. The question you're probably asking is, why? Google's headquarters in California was an unlikely place for me to end up. I'm French-Algerian, and I was raised in Paris. My mother was born in Sidi Oqba, Algeria, known in ancient times as the City of Magic because of its extraordinary propensity to attract spiritual leaders. At the doors of the Sahara Desert, Sidi Oqba was a gateway where Arabs and Bedouins met for the commerce of spices, camels, and fabrics. My father was born in the fortified French city of Dinan, which for many centuries was a strategic place to circulate between Normandy and Brittany. It is known for one of the largest medievalist events in Europe, where people gather to celebrate the city walls with annual themes such as Gates to the Imagination or the Times of Builders. Christmas and my family meant halal turkey and champagne. I wore miniskirts to school in France and covered my hair with a veil when visiting my family in Algeria. My father, in the French didactic tradition of mathematics, would teach me about fractals and chaos theory, while my mother would share Arabic proverbs. Although they came from different worlds, there was one point my parents agreed on: the importance of studying hard and choosing your career wisely. I was the first woman in my family to pursue higher education, encouraged by both my father, who saw it as the path to success, and my mother, who saw it as the path to survival. My curriculum, science and business, was optimized for job prospects. As a child of the internet, I had always been fascinated with how pixels come to life. I spent my teenage years exploring my curiosity in weird and wonderful ways, maintaining a hand-coded blog whose design changed every few weeks, translating obscure Japanese songs into French, and managing an online community for young fiction writers. Every day, millions around the world came online to learn, connect, tinker, and create. There was a sense of mystery as to how it all worked, as well as a certain reverence for the magicians at companies like Google, weaving all those threads to produce the World Wide Web. I got my Google interview in a fluke, after nerding out about the future of technology with a stranger sitting next to me on the flight to San Francisco. I went through their intense hiring process and landed the job, the perfect job. I arrived on campus feeling lucky, along with a dash of imposter syndrome. Google is famously data-driven, so each project assigned to me had clear objectives. Career success was also codified around two tangible concepts: the ladder for your role and the level for your seniority. The promotion process was based on a rubric, telling you exactly what skills you need to have demonstrated to graduate to the next level. No need to guess, no need to tinker. It was all in there, clearly mapped out. Inspired by my peers, cheered on by my parents and my friends back in France, I set out to diligently climb the ladder. I scheduled my days in 30-minute increments, promptly replied to all emails, volunteered for extra projects, and even found time to arrange one-to-one meetings with mentors who helped me plot the next steps in my Google career. I was flown all around the world for conferences and trade shows. I got promoted and took on a global role in the digital health team. I sometimes had to cancel social plans to work late hours on presentations, but believed it was worth the sacrifice. My journey was mapped out before me. All I had to do was keep climbing. From one ladder to another. American psychiatrist Irvin Yalom wrote about awakening experiences, events that shake us from our default routines, crack our defensive barriers, and open new possibilities. Some of them can be major, such as the loss of a loved one, divorce, war, and illness. Others can be referred to as a sort of petite existential shock therapy, sobering thoughts that lead you to reconsider how you are really living. It took a combination of both to reawaken my consciousness. One morning, as I was getting ready for work, I noticed my arm had turned purple. I went to the Google infirmary, where I was sent to the Stanford Hospital. The doctors found a blood clot that threatened to travel to my lungs. Surgery was required to remove it. I was so worried about derailing my team's ongoing projects that I asked to delay the operation so that I could time it when everyone would be off work for a company retreat. My manager would have been furious if she knew I had done this. So I didn't tell her. When they picked me up at the hospital after the surgery, my friends snapped a group picture. I was in the middle, in a wheelchair, smiling and holding a bouquet of flowers. My face looked the same as before the surgery, but already I could feel that something had shifted in me. I recovered quickly and went back to work, kept hitting my targets and supporting my team, but my efforts felt mechanical. Not long after, I went home to France for Christmas, my first time back in a year. I was surrounded by friends and family I hadn't seen in ages. Someone asked, "How's life?" Such a trivial question, and yet, when I automatically replied that work is great and San Francisco is nice, thank you, I noticed for the first time how inert my voice sounded. How was life, really? I hadn't ever asked myself this. I was too busy, always focused on finishing the next deliverable or hitting a bigger target. And I was living the dream, so of course everything must be great. Separated from San Francisco by thousands of miles, I finally let myself honestly confront the question. Life wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. I was likely burned out. But that was only a symptom of the problem. I was so consumed by the routine, the rubric, and the next rung on the ladder that I had lost the ability to notice anything else. I stopped asking what I wanted out of my day or even out of my future. And despite this relentless grind, I was also finding myself getting bored. While I had spent my younger life guided by a genuine yearning to learn and grow, I was now following a prescribed path trodden by so many colleagues before me. Realizing how I felt was like an electric shock. many people are able to build a rewarding
Sample complete. Ready to continue?